looking at the construction, and we're with the chairman, as you know. Chairman, come on over. And we're just taking a look at what's happening. You know, it's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed. One of the reasons I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses, wanted to figure out why.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
That's our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building, is what that is. That's a third building,
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So,
not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use, but no, we don't. We expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
As a real estate developer, what would you do with a project manager who would be over budget?
Generally speaking, what would I do? I'd fire him.
Are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates, but other than that, what can I tell you?
Jesus, I have to give this to Trump. His poker face is really good. Like, he clearly did not get shook by that. But at the same time, Jerome Powell has some serious cojones. Obviously, some people are not a big fan of Jerome Powell, so you have a few sentiments like fire this guy immediately, disrespectful. A few people are like, Powell needs to leave. He's just trying to state the facts. Like, were you supposed to be accepting the lie? This is a clear example of how the Trump administration lies and exaggerates to prop up their administration. Honestly, just make the numbers up. You remember what happened with Doge. Let's not forget about that.
He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him. It is my pleasure and my honor to announce my nomination of Jerome Powell to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve.
How Trump forgets is surprising to me. He claims that Biden does something, or Obama, but yet there's footage and recording and receipts of him doing the exact thing. It shows how Trump lives for lying. How come no one corrected him on the spot? Because no one is as immune as Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell cannot be fired by Donald Trump, but other people can be affected. So that's why they're a little bit afraid to speak up.
I want you to look, if you will, at Jerome Powell's face here. This is the follow-up, if you will. This is the follow-up to the Jonathan Swan Donald Trump meeting in the first. Powell has that swan look. It's interesting. He got to go there. He got to lobby him. And then at the end, he said, I had a good meeting with him, even though the president did not have good staff work. Somebody handed the president the wrong number.
How much time do I have here? Because I have so much I want to break down in this video. Okay. One, where is Tim Scott's hard hat? Where is the hard hat? Why did Tim Scott get no hard hat? That's not right. Two, I just loved how Trump had the paper right there, just in case. And he showed it to him. And Jerome Powell actually was pretty quick on his feet to say, no, you got an extra building there. And apparently that building counts because it's part of the larger project. But the best part actually came at the end when they were taking questions after this whole thing was done. And I agree with you, Joe.
But hold on, Sam. Yeah. Hold on, man. You missed the best part.
No,
the best part was Donald Trump is given the wrong numbers by his staff.
No,
and says it's 3.1. It's inflated. And Powell says, no, it's not. It's 2.5. And he goes, it's 3.1. And Tim Scott goes,
those are my numbers.
Those are the numbers I have too, Mr. President.
Because the banking committee has got their own numbers.
You put this one next. You put this one next to Mike Pence reaching down and putting the water on the floor after the president does in the first term. This is Hall of Fame here. This is Hall of Fame by Tim Scott. Those are my numbers, too.
Okay, but there's a better Tim Scott moment, I think. I'm just going to throw it out there. It comes at the end. They go in the building, they renovate, that they're renovating, and they're talking. Who knows what they're saying? Obviously, Trump's trying to get Powell to quit because Trump doesn't want to fire him. And they come back out, and they have this press conference. And at one point, Tim Scott says something like, God, I wish we just didn't have to talk about the cost of renovations and we could just focus on interest rates. As if Donald Trump hasn't been pushing this entire thing as a predicate for firing Powell. Like Tim Scott just is like, if only we could just get past this topic. And it's just, what are we doing here? It felt like an episode of Veep, honestly.
Yeah. Let's normalize correcting Trump publicly all the time. I agree to that. Tim Scott uses the same math as his boss. He's such a bootlicker, Jesus. Yo, even Tim Scott's getting strays. Oh my God. Tim Scott tap dance. Good old step and fetch Scott.
Donald Trump being caught in a lie by Jerome Powell, basically inflating the cost of the rebuild of the Fed by adding in a building that was already built 3 years ago. But don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, right, MAGA? And MAGA, for once, I want Donald Trump to listen to his own advice.
Developer, what would you do with a project manager who would be over budget?
Generally speaking, what would I do? I'd fire him.
He just negotiated the worst trade deal in history. He's obviously one of the dumbest human beings that has ever existed. He touts a dementia test that he took at a hospital as some kind of IQ. But of course, that would mean y'all would have to recognize this, MAGA. I mean, I'm sure the Jeffrey list is the only thing this man is lying about.
He so happens to have documents neatly folded in his suit jacket. He has the documents for those, but he doesn't have the list that we were looking for. Another them using the list, which we already knew he was on, as only a guest for cheap political points. You have TDS. So you think he was only a guest? Some people are too naive, or they just don't want to see the truth.
And Jerome Powell, not taking any bullshit from Trump, basically looks right up at him and calls him a liar to his face. To his face. Imagine if Republicans in Congress and in the Senate, these journalists from ABC, CBS, CNN, NBC, all of them had the same balls as Jerome Powell and called out Trump to his face whenever he lied. Our country would not be in the same shape it's in now.
Nah, you can't blame them, bro. They work for corporations. These billionaires are obviously in the pockets of Donald Trump. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on how Jerome Powell handled this situation. Because would you like to see more people do this in front of TV coverage? Leave your comments down below and let me know what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We make a lot of videos on this. Make sure you check out this video as well. But I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.